Alright, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Mass Reviewer back again with another review, and tonight we are doing a review for the Emoji movie. This is a movie that I am rewatching. I don't really have any background, to be honest, but before I begin, I do want to say that I did change my schedule around a bit, so I will be getting back to the show and anime reviews soon, hopefully, along with like the rankings and stuff, and I think I might have some comparisons in mind to do, I know that just recently I've been doing a lot of movie reviews, and it is because of I did the schedule ran I don't know, it was like not a month ago, but like a few weeks ago by now, and it's already like majorly outdated. So, but rest assured, I think for the next few videos it might be like movie reviews and some and maybe some comparisons here or there. But I am gonna be getting back to the show and anime videos as well, along with the rankings and all that good stuff. So, but anyway, with all that said, let us begin, starting off with the plot. So the plot of this is that basically you have the main character, Gene, who is basically this meh emoji. So he's supposed to only have one facial expression, which is meh, and he is part of Alex's. Alex is the human main character, and he had basically this all takes place like inside of his phone. And so meh is an emoji that he doesn't work properly. He's kind of a malfunction, so he's able to express other emotions other than meh, which is the only one that he is supposed to be able to display. So because of this, when he ends up going to his job to perform his role of being the meh emoji, he accidentally messes up and then ends up sending the wrong face. And so because of that, Alex thinks that his phone is not working properly, so then he has to schedule. He doesn't immediately schedule an appointment to fix his phone, but so the council basically of the emojis ran by the head of the council is Smiler, who is the smiley face emoji. She ends up sending out bots in order to delete Gene because he has a malfunction. So the movie becomes a mission where Gene, along with he ends up meeting High Five. So they have to work together and they end up meeting Jailbreak, and the goal of them is basically they're trying to get to the cloud in order to be where they can get Jailbreak in order to reprogram Gene into not having other facial expressions. And Jailbreak's goal is to just get to the cloud because there's like no rules there like there is in Textopolis, which is where the emojis all live and stuff. And High Five's goal is to just have Jailbreak reprogram him to be able to be in the VIP section for the emojis and stuff. So yeah, that's the movie. And then it ends with Gene. He ends up, because he tries to like confess his love to Jailbreak, and then she rejects him, and then so because of that, it like triggers like him to have the meh expression only, and so all his other emotions kind of get repressed for some reason. So he didn't even need to do the hacking. So he ends up getting taken by the robot that is after them, and then basically there's the final confrontation where he's about to get deleted. His father tries to save him, but then he also is about to get deleted because the robot ends up capturing him as well. And then High Five and Jailbreak, they end up saving the day and shutting off the robot, defeating Smiler, and then but while this is happening, Alex is still about to delete his entire phone, be it like to fix it or something, or I don't know, he was going to get a replacement for it, but so the entire phone is about to get deleted. But then Gene, he sends out, like Jailbreak and Gene, they send out this like final emoji, which is Gene just doing a bunch of I forgot to mention, Alex he has a crush on a girl in his class, Addie. Yeah, so because that he doesn't know how to express his love, so Gene ends up creating an emoji. He basically shows a bunch of facial expressions, kind of meant to represent how Alex feels towards Addie. And so Alex ends up sending it, and then he decides, okay, I'm not going to delete the phone, and so he ends up keeping the phone. And so the day is saved, everyone's good, everyone's happy, and happy ending. So in terms of the plot / adventure, it's like, I don't know, like a 5 out of 10. It's like, it's not good or bad really. It's maybe like between a 5 to a 5.5, but I'm just gonna be harsh and say it's like a 5 out of 10. Like it's not one that I really cared for too much. It's like, I guess it has like the structure of it is fine, but it's just not the most interesting of like, oh, this guy, he has like this is also like, this isn't the first rewatch. I think this is like at least the third rewatch, or maybe even the fourth. I for some reason watched this movie a lot when I was younger, so I did already know what was going to happen going into it and stuff. So, but it's like not the most interesting plot, to be honest. And there were moments. It's not a long movie either, but there were definitely moments where I felt like kind of bored and stuff here and there, and I felt like it's not the most interesting thing ever. So, because of that, yeah, just a 5 out of 10. It's like, it's not bad, but it's not good, I'd say. So, in terms of the character, you have T.J. Miller, who voices Gene, and I don't really know much about like T.J. Miller. I know like, yeah, he's had some like controversy here and there and stuff, so I don't really know. I'm not talking about him as a person, but him as a voice actor. I think he did a good job voicing Gene. I thought it was good. There was also James Gordon, James Corden, who also voices High Five, and I know James Corden as well, also doesn't have like the greatest reputation, but I thought his voice acting was fine. I guess like I don't think anyone was bad really. You had Jailbreak. She was a fine character. Jean's parents also fine. Smiler, not really a great antagonist. She was like very one-dimensional, just like, oh, you're not supposed to show any other emotions. Kill him because he's showing other emotions. That was her entire character basically. So Alex, Addie, I don't know. Everyone's just like, they're fine. Like a 5 out of 10. I give them like, once again, just not good or bad. Really, just fine. In terms of the settings, I think this is probably the best part of the film. I think that the actual world of the emojis and stuff, it is pretty cool. I think, okay, it's like nice and stuff, it's cool, but I don't think it's well, I don't think they establish like the rules of it too well because of like the phone in general, not just Textopolis, because there are like moments here and there where I think like in the Just Dance scene where they're like dancing and stuff, I don't really understand how the rules of that game were meant to work, because it's like if you miss a dance move, you get an X, but Gene went to help Jailbreak, so he was missing a ton of dance moves, so he was getting X's and stuff. So maybe it wasn't if you miss a dance move, maybe it was just like if you complete the dance move incorrectly or something like that. So and then there was also stuff where it's like when stuff would get deleted, it would take time for it to get deleted, which felt like I don't know, kind of just changing the plot around for the sake of convenience for the characters and stuff. So there was stuff like that. There was also like in Candy Crush, for some reason, Gene, he managed to like the game confused him for a candy. Yeah, so because he fell into the glass container with all the candies. But I was wondering like, wasn't there supposed to be a candy there? Like anyway, why is it that he was able to fall in? Like, shouldn't there been a candy there in his place? So there's like small stuff like that where it makes me think like, okay, it's like a cool world and stuff, and it's kind of it's like creative, I guess, but it's like not the most well thought out and like executed, I guess. So, but I will say that the setting, it was, I'll give it like a 7 to a 7.5. It was between like pretty good and very good, and I think I'm gonna be harsh and just give it like a pretty good. I think it was pretty good, but it like definitely like had some problems here and there. So in terms of the art style, it was fine. Like if you were gonna do an emoji movie, I guess this is like the best thing that you could come up with, I suppose. It's not like great or anything, and but yeah, I don't know. I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. Like it's not good, but it's not bad really. It's just very kind of not generic. It is like, I guess, unique because it is emojis, but that's less so because of the art style and more so because of like the actual because they're emojis and not like just human characters and stuff. The human characters, they all look like very just 5 out of 10, like not good or bad. So in terms of the comedy, there was like no jokes I really laughed at. I think there was one joke maybe where it's like the poop emoji. He ended up saying like when he was like freaking out, he almost said like, oh shit. So I thought that was good because it caught me off guard. So but other than that, yeah, there's not really anything that I really laughed at. So I'm thinking between like, I'm just gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Like there was nothing like terrible. Actually, there were a few misses here and there. So I don't know. I guess that one good joke and all the stuff that maybe missed, I'll just balance it out to a 5 out of 10. So it's not good or bad. In terms of the worst thing, I don't really know. There's like a lot of stuff that you could say that wasn't great, but maybe the worst thing is like I really did not like Smiler's character. She was just very. She was like a one-dimensional villainess, and she just was not very interesting. She was just like constantly happy, and she was like, "Oh, you're a malfunction, so we need to kill you and stuff." And it was just very didn't care for it at all, really. So I'm just gonna get the score sheet out, and I'm gonna say that she was, she was like pretty bad, 3.5, I'd say. Like I didn't really like her character at all. So yeah, best thing I would probably say. I don't know. I think like I would just reuse the best score here. There was a song that they played a lot, and I forgot who sings the song, but it was like I Just Want to Feel This Moment. I thought that was a good song actually. So that when that would play in the film, I thought that was not bad. But I would say that I would give it like a 6.5 to a 7, and the highest score I had so far was settings, which is a 7. So I'm just gonna say a setting 7 for like that song and also the settings, I guess. So yeah, that was the best thing. And any extra notes I have, let's see here. I think that I wonder like if they did this movie, like it's pretty outdated to be honest. Like for example, like Twitter is no longer Twitter, it's X now. You have like, there are in pop culture, there not pop, in like I guess culture, I guess, there are more so emojis that are more popular nowadays than they were back then. Like the skull emoji, the rose emoji that's been pretty popular recently, I'm pretty sure. The nerd emoji, like I do wonder like how this would have turned out if like it feels outdated, and I wonder like if they had done it nowadays, like how much the movie would have changed in reference to like all the stuff in like culture lately. So they went to a shortcut. Like, they were trying to get to Dropbox the entire movie, and they said, like, okay, let's go to Just Dance because there's a shortcut to get to Dropbox from there. But like, they showed in the wallpaper that each app is like no more than like 10 meters from each other. So I don't really know why why they had to go through all of Just Dance when they could have just easily like gone out of the Just Dance app and then just like, I think they had to get to Just Dance, they had to travel into Just Dance, but then like you could have just left the app and then just walked over to Dropbox. So I don't really see why they needed a shortcut. Like they said, like they were like, oh, we need to get to Just Dance because I know a shortcut there to get to Dropbox. I was like, you just walk out of the app and then it's like it's like 10 meters away from you, something like that. So yes, I don't really know why they had to do that. Oh yeah, there was another good joke where he said like the peace sign. She gave him like one finger one time, and that's how he knew that she liked him, and it's reference to like the middle finger. So I thought that was not bad. I didn't notice that on a first time watch, so that was pretty good. Let's see here. I wrote yeah, there's like a surprising amount of like not deaths, but like the trolls. He ended up like he was like begging, like when High Five like was getting saved, he was like please take me with you and stuff, and it was like pretty dark, like that they I guess like died, you could say. Also like the Just Dance instructor, she was in the trash, so she also like ended up dying presumably. So yeah, a lot of like dark stuff like that. I guess like some characters got deleted from the bots, but then they just went to the trash. But then afterwards, like the whole trash scene has like dark implications. I guess like not dark because obviously they're not like real people or anything. So, but still, it's like if you're portraying these like as sentient like characters, it is kind of like messed up to think about. So, what else? There was a Rihanna song, which it wasn't a song, but like for some reason, Alex, like when he wrote a message to Addie, he wrote the lyrics for like the Rihanna song Diamonds, and I love that song. That's a great song. I do not know why he wrote those lyrics. I guess like to be poetic, maybe like as a declaration of love, but I don't know, that wouldn't be my first instinct to send to someone I like. So, but whatever, if it works for him, it works for him. I thought that Addie was a horrible password. Whoever wrote this movie, like they should know, like a password is not just like one word, something you like, especially not Addie. First of all, no numbers, no like symbols or anything. You just his password was just Addie, the girl that he likes. That if you're gonna make a password, you gotta have like, okay, first of all, like 12 characters minimum. That's how I usually view it. You know, you gotta get some letters in there, gotta get some numbers, gotta get some symbols. Like you gotta make it a bit more complicated instead of just like one word, which is like the girl you like. So yeah, here I'm looking at her name. Right, 5 letters in total. That's a horrible password. So yeah, I didn't find that realistic, I guess. So. Yeah, that is all the X notes I have, so I'm going to do the calculations. So King Crimson. All right, so it ends up coming out to a 5.5, which would be decent, and I would probably give it lower than that. I think I would just give it like a 5 out of 10. I think it was not good. It wasn't bad. I think this movie definitely gets like more hate than it probably deserves. I know that when it came out, like everyone was trashing on the movie and stuff. I don't think it's like the worst thing I've ever seen, and it's definitely like, it's not too long, so it's also like pretty tolerable. But it's definitely like, I wouldn't call it good, but I also wouldn't like really call it terrible. So I would just give it like a 5 out of 10. So yeah, not good or bad, I would say. So yeah, that is pretty much all there is to it. So if you have any recommendations, any shows, movies, video game stories, anime, web series, anything that you want me to review, leave it in the comments and I will maybe possibly check it out. But with that said, that is pretty much all there is to it. So let's leave it at that.